I feel pretty confident saying that if we were to poll most Naruto fans, a lot of the fandom would say that some of their favorite characters are characters who have Kekkei Genkai, like the Sharingan, like the Byakugan, or like Ice Release. And one of the things we've been seeing in both the Boruto anime and now in the Boruto manga is the fact that Kekkei Genkai are pretty damn prevalent, and there's something that moving forward into the future of the story are probably going to have a significant role when it comes to relying on the characters who have these abilities to create more conflict and tension. And just to be clear, in the Naruto series, Kishimoto used Kekkei Genkai to a point where you could say, after relying on the Uchiha clan for a lot of the lore and relying on the Uchiha clan for just creating tension and for a lot of the story, you could say that after that, you could say that the Kekkei Genkai were some of the most prevalent things in the series. And at the same time, I want to say that when you look at the Boruto series now, maybe Kodachi might be playing with fire by introducing so many new Kekkei Genkai. Now, to be clear, the Naruto world is extremely vast, so introducing a character like Delta, who has probably a new dojutsu based on her character design, where she's got these lines in her eye, and we don't know much about her character outside of the fact that she's with Kara, and she's probably very high ranking given the fact that she's eating dinner with Jigen, who is the strongest member of the Kara organization, given the fact that he is the leader. And so when you look at that, more than likely she's got some super hacks Kekkei Genkai. But in the Boruto series, what we've seen over and over again is that countless ninja are being introduced with bloodline traits and abilities. And what the early portions of the Naruto series, not the Naruto series as a whole, but the early portions going from the Land of Waves arc, it made it seem as if having a Kekkei Genkai was something that was extremely rare. It was something that was really special. It was something that you got a lot of payoff for when you found out the characters had these different abilities. Now, on the flip side, when you look at the Boruto series, one of the things that you've seen on a repeated basis is that you have the Kekkei Genkai that we know about. So you have Sarada, who has the Sharingan. You have Himawari, who through a gag managed to awaken the Byakugan. You have Shikadai, who has the Shadow Paralysis technique, the Shadow Paralysis Jutsu. You have all these different characters that have this, but on the other side of that, you have Boruto awakening some new dojutsu that we don't know if it's related to his Uzumaki lineage or if it's related to his Hyuga clan ability. We don't know what it is, if it's some type of mutation. Now you have this new character with this new design in Delta, who potentially has a very hacks Kekkei Genkai, and it makes you wonder, are we going to be seeing an even greater influx? Because just looking in real time, in the Boruto anime, we were introduced to a character in Ryogi who had the ice release. Now in the Boruto anime, we have Shinki, who was actually introduced in the Naruto New Era Project novels, who has magnet release, which gives him the ability to use the Iron Sand, much in the same way that the third, I believe it's the third Kazekage had. And so when you look at that and then you put that in comparison to what's going on in the manga, where now you have Sarada getting more skill over a Sharingan to the point where, small spoiler, but to the point where she actually defeats Boruto and Mitsuki in a sparring match in the manga, and now you have this new character who has these unknown abilities. It makes you wonder, are we getting too many Kekkei Genkai too closely in release? Because the manga and anime, they're at different points in the timeline, and yet we're getting all this stuff at the same time. And I want to kind of pose this question to you guys, and I want to give you my answer to it. And I don't think that we are getting too many Kekkei Genkai too quickly, though I can play devil's advocate and I can concede that when you look at it, it might be a bit too much. But when you look at how Kodachi's been building things up, I think that this could be a good way of getting away from what we got introduced to in the first Naruto series, which I feel is one of the weaknesses of the Naruto series, which is over relying on the historic clans like the Uchiha clan, and to a lesser extent, given the fact that the Hyuga clan was shoehorned into the back end of the Naruto series, in the back end of the war arc, and then basically given some type of prominence through Kaguya and through Naruto the Last. Given the fact that the last series kind of focused on the Uchiha clan and to a lesser extent the Hyuga, it makes you wonder, maybe by having these different Kekkei Genkai and having more of the Naruto universe being explored, because you have all these different combinations of different mutations for jutsu and for dojutsu that were never fully explored into the original series, it opens the door for there to be more conflict, for there to be more lore and more world building, more expansion. And so I'm okay with what Kodachi is doing, what Kishimoto is allowing Kodachi to do. But I wanted to pose that question to you guys because I'm sure there are some people who are saying this new generation, even with the Kara organization, they're just getting too many handouts. So what are your thoughts on this, guys? Do you personally like Delta's design, and what do you think her dojutsu is? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Have an awesome day.